I've been married for a decade now, and truthfully, I've never once strayed. Sure, the chances presented themselves more times than I can count, but I never acted on them, not even close. Why? Because I'd already lived that reckless, thrill-seeking life long before she came into the picture. I'd tasted just about everything: flings with multiple women, nights spent with escorts, and experiences that stretched the boundaries of both excitement and shame. By the time I hit 35, all of that had lost its appeal. The novelty had burned out. I met my wife when I began a new chapter in my career. She lived in the unit next to mine and managed the property. She was recently divorced, raising a child on her own, and incredibly captivating. Intelligent, poised, magnetic, we connected instantly. What started as casual conversations turned into a storm of romance. Before long, we were married. Those early years felt like a dream. We were inseparable. We built a home, shared laughs, weathered challenges, and even welcomed a child of our own. The idea of being with another woman never even flickered across my mind. But over time, things began to shift. People often say women can sense when their partners are hiding something. But strangely enough, one morning, I woke up with that very same gut feeling, not based on evidence, not sparked by any incident, just a quiet, unshakable instinct that something in our marriage had changed. My wife was being unfaithful. At first, there were no glaring red flags, just tiny, almost imperceptible changes. The way she smiled, how her eyes met mine, it all felt slightly different, like something unseen had crept between us. I even began doubting myself, wondering if I was simply imagining things, reading too much into nothing. But as days turned into weeks, the signs became harder to dismiss. She wasn't hiding her phone or dodging my messages. Instead, it was her sudden fixation on her appearance that caught my attention. She took up dieting, signed up for a gym membership, dropped noticeable weight, and began filling her wardrobe with brand new outfits. I stumbled upon several pairs of fishnet lingerie, something she had never once worn for me, not even during our most intimate moments. Her routine shifted. There were more late nights at the office, endless corporate functions, and an entirely new circle of friends I'd never met. She seemed to always be somewhere else, and when she returned, she radiated joy. But that brightness vanished the moment she walked through our door, like she was stepping back into a life she no longer wanted. She began making unfair comparisons, pointing out traits in other men, criticizing me in ways she never had before. It was as if everything I did was suddenly not enough. Our once cozy evenings became stiff, silent meals and distant conversations. I tried to reignite what we had, to bring back even a sliver of the connection we once shared, but each attempt was met with cold indifference or irritated silence. Whenever I pushed for a real conversation, she shut down, dodging the topic or changing the subject. I couldn't live in the dark anymore. I needed to uncover the truth. I wasn't about to hurl accusations without proof, but the not knowing was eating me alive. I needed certainty. Quietly, I installed surveillance software on her phone. 4 days, I monitored her texts and call logs. It was all routine, work updates, friendly chatter, nothing suspicious. Still, something didn't sit right. So I placed a voice recorder in her car. For 2 weeks, I sifted through countless hours of audio. I discovered she had a surprisingly beautiful singing voice, cursed like a trucker in traffic, and, to my surprise, understood German. But in terms of proof? Still nothing. No evidence of an affair, not even a hint. Just as I began to think I'd let paranoia take the wheel, fate dropped a truth bomb. We were at a barbecue with some friends. I stepped away to grab a bag of charcoal from the car and noticed her vehicle had a flat tire. I opened the trunk to find the tools, and that's when I saw it, a second phone, tucked away like a secret life. My heart pounded as I unlocked it. Within seconds, I found exactly what I feared. Message after message, flirtatious, personal, deeply intimate, filled the screen. Conversations spanning months. No room for misinterpretation. It was clear. She was involved with someone else. Rage surged through me, but I didn't let it show. Not there, not in front of friends and laughter. I sat quietly, the world around me muffled, as I tried to make sense of the pain. Why? What did I miss? Where had I gone wrong? Some might say I should have turned a blind eye, pretend not to know, keep the peace, maintain the illusion. But that's not me. I couldn't live a false life, smiling through a lie. The betrayal ran too deep. One thing was certain, I would end this marriage. But first, I wanted to hit back. It didn't take much to find out where the other man lived. One evening, she left, saying she had a meeting. I followed her. When she parked outside his place and stepped inside, I waited a few minutes, then pulled up and parked beside his car, close enough to block the driver's side door. Their reaction when they returned was unforgettable. Shock. Fear. Panic. She reached for the handle, but before she could open the door, I slammed it shut. She rolled the window down and started shouting at me. That was my cue. I pulled out a can of pepper spray and let it loose, right through the gap. What followed was chaos. They thrashed, gasped, shouted through the burning pain, trapped in their own shame. I didn't say a word. Just turned and walked back to my car, calm as ever, and drove off into the night. Back home, I made no attempt to keep quiet. I stormed into the bedroom, yanked open drawers, swept her clothes into garbage bags, and dumped them all outside. I didn't care who heard. The neighbors? Let them wonder. The kids were with their grandmother that night, thank God, spared from seeing the storm their father had become. Our divorce happened soon after. We divided everything evenly. I handed over my share of the apartment so the kids could have a stable home. They stayed with her. That was a year ago. Today, we speak without venom. We even share birthday celebrations for the sake of the children. I've since remarried, found peace in a new chapter, and built a life focused on the now. I refuse to be trapped in the shadow of what once was.